drive now. Good drive.
Boy, that's it.
Cut, Sam.
Gun it. Got him. Nice play. Nice job. Nice job. Way to turn that. Good job.
Yeah, we needed that, huh? Yeah. That's the only way to get out of a walk situation.
You got the plate, Matt. Cover, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was nice. Don't panic. Back. You got it. That's a nice shot.
Nice hit.
Nice crank, man. Good job.
All right, boys. Way to get out of trouble, guys.
Good job, man. Good job.
Guys who put up a couple, let's hold them now. Keep playing good D.
Update.
Let's go, John. Big back there, buddy.
Is that like the third or fourth back of the game?
Grab, pull the trigger, man.
Matt. Matt.
Okay.
Johnny.
Get there. That's it. Go. Get here. Billy, you don't have to go. You're good at the lead. You're good. Billy, no outs, no force. Stay high. Stay high. That's it, kid. It's in there. It's in there. Make a turn. Watch the throw. Watch the throw. A little more. Stay out there. Stay out there.
Good job with the calls, though.
No, yeah, yeah.
So, that was the first thing. I'm going to talk in the video, and I want to talk to you guys after the podcast.
Okay.
Too many guys just start whenever guys start.
Okay.
Nobody really has a great idea. So, I'm going to talk about it.
Okay.
What I want you to do for the rest of the game is think about where you're starting and why you're starting. Okay? So
Okay.
just do whatever you've been taught. I don't want to mess with you.
No, that's fine.
But I want you to think, say to yourself, all right, I'm starting in this position. Why am I here? So I talked a little bit about it over here.
Right.
You're starting closer to the first baseman. You always do the line drive here.
Right.
That's really the only reason that close.
Okay.
You can, once the ball's hit, you can adjust with, where the ball's hit. You can adjust your depth. Starting in the middle, as in closer to these. Okay. Theoretically, this doesn't work supposed to. Okay. Theoretically, in general, you want to be after the back of the mound. Back of the mound. Oh. That's about 50. Okay. So how to figure out how to play. The reasoning for that is that you want to give them something one step back. So you're taking a pick off step. You're still looking right up the middle of the. Okay, a couple steps. Okay. And you'll see. You'll take that step up. Okay. All right. So there's a couple of things. Some of the things are a little. Okay. Yeah, that's why I'm here.
All right, Chris. Looks like you're doing a pretty good job so far. Just going to go over a couple of things that we talked about while we're looking at you down here. The main thing that we were discussing after the first inning was your starting position with no runners on base. We're starting a little bit too deep. Again, we want to make sure that we're putting ourselves in a position to see a line drive trap to the first baseman so that you can take that responsibility off of the plate guy. So it looks like you're in a pretty good spot right now, getting a little bit closer to the first baseman. In general, you want to be somewhere between 10 and 15 feet behind him, and you're going to vary that, as I mentioned, with the first baseman's distance off the line. So as he gets closer to the line, you have to give him a little bit more space. Nice job with angle distance there. Looked like you were in a good spot, 90 degrees between the ball, the base, and you. And distance from first base was good. Good timing, good signal. Looked pretty solid.
Huh? Yeah, you are.
One of the other things that I mentioned to you during one of the inning breaks was using your signals and your voice for a reason. That last play, probably not really that close. Maybe a little bit less voice. Good strong signal, a little less voice. No reason to really sell that. Everybody knows he's out.
All right, I'll send one of the boys over to finish warming up.
I don't think you heard me, but that was much better. That voice was 10 times better and more appropriate for the for that play. So nice job adjusting, even though you didn't hear what I said. Looking good. Keep it up. All right, Chris, we're going to take some video from this side. I want to take a look at how you're moving within the infield when the ball's hit. So hopefully we get some strikes thrown here and get a ball or two put in play. When we were on the other side, we mentioned your starting position. I'm not sure if that looks much better now. A little on the deep side before, towards second base. We talked about trying to be halfway between the back and the mound, cut out. It looks better now. And what that does is on this play, okay, on that play, there's not going to be a throw into second base. So we'd like to see you move off the working area. So line parallel to straight across the field. All right, that's a gapper. Good job.
Go! Go! You better get down! You
All right, a few things I like on that play. One was the read. We talked about getting to the grass dirt line only on trouble balls. That was pretty clear off the bat that that was going to be a gapper. So good job staying right where you were in the working area. You did a nice job making sure to watch for the touch at first base. In that situation, there's nothing out in the outfield to watch. Ball wasn't near the wall or anything. Nothing can happen. The couple other ballparks when there's imaginary lines or holes in the wall, or maybe a fielder that decides to throw his glove at the ball, just make sure you're aware of not just staring at first base. I think we'll get pretty good video of you really staring at first base to watch the touch. Great awareness to do that. Try to vary your looks a little bit more than that. Watch the ball, glance at runners. So again, we want to see the touch, but we also need to be watching the ball just in case something weird happens out there. You did a nice job getting across the working area. Love the communication with your partner. Really, you guys should be on the same page on that before the game, to talk about in a pregame meeting. When we're not. Maybe a glance over your shoulder would suffice there. I'm not sure giving him a hand and telling him I've got third is really necessary there, but I would rather see you over-communicate than under-communicate, so nice job. The main thing that I would like to see you work on the bases. Hold on, let's see what happens here. Okay, you have good instincts on the bases in terms of your responsibilities and knowing where other runners are after plays happen. So keep thinking about that. Keep reminding yourself, what is my next responsibility? The main thing that I want to see you work on is how you move around, and I'm going to try to talk to you about this after the game, maybe on the field. You do a lot of backpedaling and spinning around as you move around. Want to try to simplify your movements. Run in direct lines and straight lines if you can. Focus on angle over distance. So it seems you're really thinking about where you need to be, and that's great. Just want to sort of get your movements a little bit more athletic. Okay, and again, this spot here, you've got responsibilities at first and second. You're standing kind of close to the grass dirt line. If there were a snap throw back into first there, we would have a problem. That was a rotation situation, runner on first only. So you know that the partner's going up to third and will have your back. So really in that situation, you want to be splitting your distance between first and second. You can stay in the middle of the working area, but when you get that far back toward the left field side of the diamond, you're really setting yourself up that when you play back into first, you're going to be in a really tough spot. So again, think about all of your responsibilities. Don't get sucked into a single runner. We had an example earlier. There was a double steal, maybe on a wild pitch, I believe, and it looked like there might be a play into third. And I think there was a throw, but it wasn't really that close, and it looked like he got really far over to third base. Good instinct knowing where the ball was going, but again, you have a trail runner in that situation. So one of the drawbacks of the two-umpire system is that we can't always get as close to plays as we want. Again, angle over distance. So create an angle, take some steps toward the where the 45-foot line would be on the third base line, but also show awareness that you have R1 going into second base as well. And if there were to be a throwback there, that you would not be in a bad position. You're not going to be in a great position, but you're not going to be in a bad position for that play back into second as well. We're focusing on your starting position right now. That's exactly where we want you. Looks like you're on the tangent line, third base side of the mound, about halfway between the back of the pitcher's mound and the cutout at second base. So that's what I'm talking about. Before, you were probably, I want to say, at least 2 or 3 steps back, like where you're going right now. So again, I think you might be a couple steps deep here, and if there's a steal of third base, you're not in the greatest spot to create yourself an angle for that play. Again, you're not going to be able to get as much distance as maybe you want to there, but you know, if you're a couple steps up, you're going to be able to create an angle to get a good look at that edge of the base. Whacker, fair foul. Okay, again, we have R1 here. So this is a great example of what I'm talking about, of being aware of your runners. What happens if there's a play at second now? What happens if R1 goes to second? You're in the cutout at third base. There is no chance that you're going to have any credibility. I know you're good, so you're going to probably get the call right. But if I'm a coach, I'm going to probably be more likely to argue or give you a hard time, because there is absolutely no way that you have any credibility from the third base cutout there. Okay? That was not a rotation situation, and was a situation where you got sucked into where the play was happening. Good instinct knowing that the play was happening there, but you need to have better instincts knowing that you have a trail runner. Good job getting to the grass dirt line there. Good job getting to the grass dirt line there, and I like the position for that play too. Again, keep in mind that after you make that out call, you have a trail runner at first base, so at least give him a glance, take a few steps that way, open up to the ball. We'll talk about how to make that movement after the game. Good job covering your guys' responsibilities that inning. That was a pretty crazy inning in terms of umpiring and rotations. Keep up the good work. All right, I was gonna wait till after the game for this, but we'll mention this now. We have a runner on third only. Ask yourself whenever you're on the bases, okay, what is the point of starting position? Why am I standing here? Okay. The reason for starting position is to take care of your quickest possible play. So the only thing that could possibly happen here is a pickoff at third base. There are no other runners. So that play was a perfect example. We had a runner on third only. We had our base umpire standing on the B side of the field, on the first base side of the field. There's just no reason to be over there. The quickest possible play is a pickoff at third base. There's no other runners to worry about. So if there are a pickoff at third base from the pitcher or the catcher, you want to be on the third base side of the field so that you can create a better angle and get a little bit more distance to that play. What happened on that play was we had a ground ball to the infield. As the base guy, you have plenty of time to get over to first base to get in good position for that play on the batter runner at first base. I'll repeat myself. There's just no reason to be on the first base side pre-pitch there. You can move over there in order to take care of your ground ball responsibility after the ball's been hit. You don't have that time on a pickoff. So again, when you're thinking about starting position, think about your quickest possible play. What is my quickest possible play? If it's a pickoff, then you want to be on that side of the field. Similarly with first and third, what happens with first and third? In most baseball, nobody picks off third base. Maybe except for a catcher back pick. So with first and third, we want to be on the B side of the field. We want to be on the first base side of the field. Because the most possible play, or the quickest possible and most likely play, is going to be at first. All right, so we're going to focus on starting position here for a little bit. In this situation, we have a runner on second only. When we think about starting position, we want to think about our quickest possible play. So we have the same situation here, runner first and second. The quickest and most likely possible play is a pickoff at second base. If you think about first and second situations, how many times do pitchers pick off to first base with first and second? Not very often, right? We're focused more on the guy at second base. Also, we need to worry about a steal play at third. If we're on the other side of the infield, then that steal play at third becomes a problem because it's tough to create an angle for the play. So whenever we're thinking about starting position, that's the first thought that should cross our mind. What is our quickest possible play? And if there's multiple quick plays, which is the most likely to happen? So hopefully we could see that on the video. There's almost contact there between the third baseman and R2 going to third. Whenever that happens, the closest umpire, in that case the base umpire, we need to acknowledge that a safe signal would be appropriate there. That way, if there's any question or if it's a little bit closer, coaches from the dugout, the fans, know that, all right, I saw what happened and I deem that that's nothing. You don't want to draw attention to it. Don't go crazy, but a strong, safe, that's nothing signal does very nicely in that situation.
Wait on it, buddy. Come on. Drive it.
So again, going back to starting position, bases loaded, quickest, most likely plays, second or third pickoffs. So good starting position there from our base umpire.
There it is. Go. Go, go, go. Come on, everybody. Come on, Matt. Come on.
It's okay. We'll get a next game. We're going to go out there real quick.
What do we talked about grass dirt line with you, right? So yeah, that's the other thing I want to talk about.
Trap play.
Right.
Go out farther.
Right. So we start here, right?
Right.
Balls hit the outfield. We're gonna step up and turn and read, just like we're reading on the line.
Right.
Okay. So we're looking out to the outfield. What's gonna happen? All right. Is it gonna be converging fielders? Is the guy gonna maybe make a catch below his waist? Is he going back toward the wall where we have to get a look at it? So you're here, turn face the ball. I read that it might be trouble. Okay. We obviously can't go out in the two-man, but for perception and to get a better look, we're going to try to get distance and try to create an angle.
Okay.
So assuming he's not going directly away from you, he's going to dive or come in. What you're going to do is step up, turn, read that it's trouble, and then immediately bust to the line or to the grass dirt. Okay. This way, we're as far as we can go. Okay, we have a good look. There's tag up at second. We can always just watch the catch and glance. Okay, see it out of your peripheral vision. But again, the priority is always the ball.
Okay.
So the ball is your number one priority in that situation.
Okay.
Ball gets caught, okay, or drops. Now, you're just gonna turn, okay, you drop back and bounce back into the working area. So you have multiple runners here. Now you can cover anything, right? Remember, if you have multiple runners, you have to split your difference. Don't get too sucked into one play. So if you have a trail runner and there's a play at third, you want to make sure that you're not all the way in the cutout at third. Maybe you take the play from here instead. Okay, instead of being all the way there.
Okay.
So this is your area to work here. Okay, try to stay out of throwing lanes. Try to, shade to your most likely play. But you also have to be aware in the two-umpire system about the other things that are going on in the field. Make sense?
Yes.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. You have any other?
There's two things I want to talk about.
Why don't you guys come and stand here? I'm not gonna. All right. So just a couple things like with plate work, check swings, both getting them from the plate and asking your partner. We want to make sure that from out there, the base guy is sure of what's going on. Okay. So what I would like to see you do is, if you're gonna call a check swing on your own, say we have a right-handed batter, okay, you're in your stance. Right-handed batter takes a check swing and you're going to get it on your own. I want you to point with your left hand right at the batter, okay? So, yes, he went, versus if you're going to check with your partner who might be in the middle of the field, you're going to step out this way. Did he go? All right, so those are two very different looking things. We're pointing with different hands, but as the base umpire, you want to be sure of what your partner's doing. This, yeah, looks very different than this. Okay, so that makes sense?
Yeah. I think we only have one situation in the whole game with the check swing.
Right, there was one, and that's what I'm talking about. Okay? Left-handed batter, if he swings, yes, he went. Okay? It's okay to do it with your right hand and point at the batter. Okay, versus, did he go? Okay, so those look very different. All right, we talked out there about rotations and like knowing before the ball gets hit what you're doing. In a runner on first base only situation, what signal are you giving back here? What do you guys use for rotation? So you use this, right? So you give the rotation signal. In your head as the plate guy, you're thinking if the ball gets through the infield, I'm rotating to third. Okay? There should be no hesitation once the ball gets through. There should be no thinking about what's going on because you know ahead of time the whole purpose of doing this is I am going to go to third if the ball gets through. Okay? So you're in your stance, ball gets hit, you take off your mask, you see the ball gets through, and your first step is this. I'm running up to third. All the way to here. All the way to here. And in that way, if there's a play into third, you go right into the cutout. Okay? You guys stay there, I'm coming back. Go into the cutout. If the guy comes to third without a play, you run home. Okay? The second you realize that there's definitely not going to be a play there, you run home. Too many guys are stopping halfway or maybe taking just a couple steps and hesitating. You want to be on top of that play at third. Okay? So almost all the way up. And then once you realize there's not a play, come back. Okay? But again, that first step's important because, some of these kids, as you get older and, working older kids' games, it's going to be tougher to keep up, and you want to make sure that you get up there for the play. You had a play in this game, the ground ball that got thrown away, and then there was a play over there and back. So I just want to show, again, it sort of goes with what we were talking about out there. I want to show like the footwork and making sure you keep chest to ball. Okay, so we had a rotation situation. Pretend like the ball went to the outfield, just so that we're definitely right there. Okay. The ball was hit. You communicated, I've got third. Okay. There was the throw over there, and the guy went to third, and the throw came back across, and you were sort of still running up. So what that should look like is I've got third, move up. Once there's going to be a play, you get into the cutout. Okay, then the ball gets thrown away, right? So now you're inside, which is good. The reason why we go inside is for that very reason, because if the ball gets thrown away and you're outside, you're now in the way. Okay? So you did a nice job of getting inside, but then there's nobody at the plate. So you need to stay ahead of that runner if you can and try to get back to the plate. That was the one criticism I had. I thought you did a nice job getting up there. I thought you did a nice job getting in the cutout. Just need to stay ahead of the runner. Okay? On the bases in that situation, you know that he has the runner at third base at that point. Okay? Your only other responsibility is the batter runner. Okay? So you shade him. We have one umpire there with that runner, one umpire there. So what that should have looked like, okay? Stance, ball gets hit, you run up to third. I've got third. Okay, play. Ball gets thrown away. It's out of his head. And once he starts going home, he stays there, he stays early. Okay, but he came home and the ball went over there. So you play, you run it this way, and you come back, and you're gonna have to take that play at the plate if you're from right here. It's brutal. But that's a two umpire system. Okay, you have to be inside. But that's what we want to see. We want to see you get up there, get inside, and then if that happens, one time that happens, which we did today, you take the play from right here. Your buddy's got the other one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The last thing I wanted to talk about is when there's situations where you're staying home. We need to have a plan of what's going on here. Okay. What are your responsibilities here? There are two things that you should mention. What's one?
Being in proper position
For a play at the plate, that's good. I would say that's the priority. Okay, what's the other minute responsibility that you have? What do we need to watch over there?
A rundown.
Okay, maybe before that. Runners touching third. Right? We're responsible as the plate umpire for the touch of third. Right? We knew that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, again, as we said, the most important thing is the play at the plate. You have a habit, okay? Every time the ball's hit and you're staying home, do you know where you go? Why? Okay. So that's one that we have to break because you're actually taking yourself out of position over there. Okay? So when the ball's hit, you have runners in scoring position, you've told your partner I'm staying home. Okay? Take your mask off, chill at the point of the plate. You can watch a touch from third from here. there's no reason why you need to go over there. You can see the touch just as well here as you can over there.